and I'm gonna start really getting on business.
So boom, after he said something, I swear to God, right hand of God. I smacked the shot at you. I smacked the shot. Right hand of God, bro. I smacked the shot at you. You smacked Akademiks. Yeah.
You thought the drama around Lil Baby couldn't get any messier. Think again. Because what if I told you that one of the biggest names in rap is allegedly scrambling behind the scenes right now? Not over music, not over money, but over a tape that was never supposed to see the light of day. Yeah, let that sink in. And the person at the center of this chaos? None other than DJ Akademiks, the same guy who always seems to know a little too much, a little too early. So the real question is, did Akademiks just cross a line that can't be uncrossed? Or is this just another calculated move in a long-running game of industry chess? Because once you start digging into what's being said, who's reacting, and why certain people are suddenly very quiet, things stop looking like internet gossip, and start feeling like something way bigger. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, enter NBA YoungBoy, watching from the sidelines and laughing like he's been waiting for this exact moment. Coincidence? Or perfect timing? Stay with me, because this story doesn't just spiral, it explodes. Now let's slow this down for a second, because this situation involving Lil Baby and DJ Akademiks did not just randomly appear out of nowhere like some overnight controversy. It has been quietly building behind the scenes, and most people were completely unaware of how serious it was getting until everything suddenly came crashing into the spotlight all at once. And when that moment hit, it did not feel like a normal industry disagreement anymore. It felt like something much bigger was about to unfold. Because what started as a simple confrontation quickly turned into a situation full of tension, ego, and potential exposure. And according to multiple accounts that have been circulating, Akademiks was in Miami when he ran into someone connected to Lil Baby's circle, and things escalated in a way nobody expected. Because instead of a conversation or a warning, it allegedly turned physical. And the idea of a public slap involving someone like Akademiks is not just embarrassing, it is explosive, especially when you consider his position as someone who reports on others and thrives on public narratives. So the real question becomes, what happens when the storyteller becomes the story? And the answer is exactly what you are seeing right now, because Akademiks did not stay quiet, he did not brush it off. He responded in the only way he knows how, by going public, speaking directly to his audience, and slowly building a narrative that shifts the focus away from the slap and onto something much more serious. And this is where things begin to take a sharp turn, because instead of just addressing the incident, he starts hinting at deeper issues, suggesting that there were already tensions behind the scenes and that this moment was just the breaking point. And then comes the part that really makes people stop and pay attention. The claims about money, influence, and control, because Akademiks openly suggested that there were financial dealings between him and Lil Baby's team, implying that he was paid to keep coverage positive. And whether people believe that or not, it plants a seed of doubt in the audience's mind, because now the story is no longer about a slap. It is about what might have been hidden before the slap even happened. And as this narrative starts spreading, the internet does what it always does. It reacts, it speculates, and it amplifies every detail. With some people defending Lil Baby and saying this is all exaggerated for attention, while others start questioning why there has not been a strong and immediate response, shutting everything down. And that silence, or at least what feels like silence, becomes part of the story itself. Because in situations like this, people expect quick denials, clear statements, something that shows control. But instead what they are seeing is confusion, mixed signals, and a growing sense that something bigger might be sitting just beneath the surface. And that is exactly when Akademiks pushes things even further by hinting at information that goes beyond industry politics and into personal territory. And this is where the conversation shifts again, because now it is not just about business or ego. It is about image, identity, and reputation. And once those elements get pulled into the spotlight, everything becomes more sensitive, more unpredictable, and far more damaging. And while all of this tension is building, another voice enters the conversation and changes the energy completely. Because NBA YoungBoy does not come in to calm things down or stay neutral, he reacts in a way that adds pressure and attention, almost like he is watching the situation unfold with amusement. And given the history between him and Lil Baby, that reaction carries weight, because it signals to fans that this is not just a private issue anymore. It is something the entire industry is watching, and when rivals start laughing instead of staying silent, you know the situation has reached a different level. And now the story is no longer contained, it is spreading, evolving, and pulling more people into its orbit with every passing moment. And, as the story kept spreading, the situation started to feel less like a simple back and forth and more like a ticking clock, because once DJ Akademiks realized that the internet was fully locked in, he did what he does best, which is turn up the pressure, step by step, and instead of backing off, he leaned into the chaos, hinting that what people had heard so far was only the surface and that there were details he had not even revealed yet. And this is where things took a much darker and more uncomfortable turn, because the conversation shifted from industry drama into something far more personal and controversial. As rumors about an alleged tape began circulating online, and even though nothing concrete was presented, the way it was being talked about made it impossible for people to ignore, and that is how narratives are built in real time. Not through confirmed facts but through repetition, speculation, and timing, and Akademiks seemed to understand exactly how to keep that cycle going by dropping just enough to keep people guessing while never fully showing his hand, and as expected, the internet reacted instantly with clips, reposts, and debates, flooding every platform, turning the situation into a viral storm where everyone had an opinion, but nobody had full clarity. And in the middle of all this, Lil Baby found himself in a position where every move mattered, because staying silent made people suspicious, but speaking out risked giving the story even more life, and that kind of pressure can break even the most controlled public figures, because it is not just about defending yourself anymore, it is about trying to stop a narrative that is already running ahead of you and shaping how millions of people see you in real time. And, to make things even more intense, reactions from other figures in the space kept pouring in, with streamers, commentators, and fans all adding their own spin to the situation and turning it into entertainment, which only amplified the reach and the impact. And then of course you have NBA YoungBoy, who seemed to be enjoying the moment in a way that added another layer of tension, because when someone with that kind of history steps in and reacts publicly, it sends a message that the situation is no longer contained, and that it is now part of a bigger narrative within the culture itself. And that is when things start to spiral beyond control, because once a story reaches that level, it stops being about what actually happened and becomes about perception, alliances, and momentum. And right now the momentum does not look like it is in Lil Baby's favor, because every hour that passes without a clear resolution allows the speculation to grow stronger and the story to evolve in ways that are harder to manage. And that is exactly why this moment feels so critical, because it is not just about clearing up a rumor or responding to a claim. It is about whether he can regain control of his image before the narrative fully settles in people's minds. And if history has shown anything, it is that once the internet locks in on a storyline, it is incredibly difficult to reverse it, no matter how much truth eventually comes out. And that is the position we are watching unfold right now, a situation where one side is actively controlling the conversation while the other is trying to keep up without making things worse. And the longer this imbalance continues, the more unpredictable the outcome becomes, because at any moment new information, real or not, could surface and push the story into an even more explosive direction. And the question that keeps hanging over everything is simple but heavy: what actually comes next? Because if this really is just the beginning, then whatever happens after this could completely redefine how this entire situation is remembered. So now that you've seen the chaos, the drama, and the full scope of what's unfolding between Lil Baby and DJ Akademiks, here's where you come in. This story is far from over, and the next moves could change everything. But the truth is, nobody outside this storm really knows what's real, what's exaggerated, or what's being deliberately played for attention, which is exactly why your voice matters. Do you think Lil Baby can come back from this blow to his reputation? Or is Akademiks holding all the cards right now? Could NBA YoungBoy's reactions push this situation even further into public obsession? Or is this just a sideshow in a bigger game? These are questions that don't have easy answers, and they're exactly what makes stories like this go viral. So I want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, tell us what side you're on, and break down what you think the next chapter will look like. Don't forget to like this video if you want more deep dives into the wildest controversies in hip-hop, and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because trust me, you do not want to miss a single update on this explosive story or any other behind-the-scenes truth we're uncovering.